Hello and welcome back to I Got Something to Say. And as usual, thank you for allowing me to come in front of your eyes. Um, wow is all I have to say about the subject of Joseph Kony and Kony 2012. Um, man, I just got finished looking at the video. I've actually done about 5 or 6 limitless hours of doing research. I'm pointing to the top of the screen, or I'm pointing to the bottom or to the side. I don't know where I'm going to post it, but here there's a website that you really need to be aware of, and I'm pointing, and as soon as I edit this whole thing, the website should show up somewhere on the screen. And it's a website to the Library of Congress. And the website is to Thomas. I guess that Thomas is the search engine. And it talks about this bill. The bill is called, if I'm not mistaken, I got my little notes here because unlike some people who've been on this YouTube but just want to jaw jack and want to have their little YouTube time, I want to come prepared. The website, again, is the Library of Congress, and it's called the LRA Disarmament and North Uganda Recovery Act. So, of course, the LRA stands for the, if I'm not mistaken, again, that's why I keep my notes. I want to be sure. Lord's Resistance Army. That's what LRA stands for, the Lord's Resistance Army. So we'll come back to that in a little bit of why I brought that up, because it's very important and everybody needs to go there and see, because it was an act of Congress that we're in the Congo right now. And Uganda is, of course, near the Congo. So, I don't even know where to begin. First of all, to everybody who, quote unquote, saw Kony 2012, I saw it have 78 million hits within just this week's time. To everybody who's seen it, everybody who's done the so-called little bit of research or whatever, claiming that, oh, that you should do your homework, don't believe everything you hear, don't fall into the propaganda, don't just fall for the hype, don't send your money, it's just bull jive, they're trying to start another war, whatever excuse that you want to call it, to downplay the video, especially, and I'm just gonna be real about it. This black chick that talks about that has 4 million hits, talking about, oh, well, my family is from Uganda, and we came to this country to have better life, and she talks like she's a valley girl, and she came to this country to have a better life, and I go back to Uganda every year, sometimes for some months at a time, and I talk to my grandmother, and then we all laugh because Joseph Kony, that was like 20 years ago. And, you know, that was just something that didn't happen, well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. It's just something that happened 20 years ago, and we just all laugh because it's just something that's in the past. And, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, and please forgive me, this is not all black folks, but this is some black folks. Here we go, we're not supporting again. Here our brothers and sisters in the motherland, and she from the motherland. She might be from a different part of Uganda. That's probably why it didn't happen to her, because Joseph Kony was trying to fight the regime in Kampala, which is the capital of the Ugandan country, and that's in the central part of the country, of course, in the Bantu speaking tribes. And you know, is it just in every country that we have some black folks that don't want to support our own folks? Is she from Uganda? And I mean, no matter if they laugh about it because it's like, oh, this white man made this video, and it's just so funny because this happened so long ago, and just don't believe everything you hear. No. How about this? No, it may not happen to you because of whatever the case. Probably because, like she says, your family, your mother, your father came to the United States to have a better life. What do you think they were trying to get away from, chick? I mean, yeah, I'm being real. I'm pointing at this chick that came up that had the 40 million hits talking about, oh, I spent so many times, and we just laugh about it. You laugh because it didn't happen to you. Okay? Stop being blinded and stop trying to get your little YouTube time on and learn something. Your family came to the United States so that you can get away from the conflict that was going on in Uganda. So before you start talking about, oh, this is so funny, Valley Girl, get your history and get your education on, okay? Just because you're from Uganda don't mean you know anything about your history and your past, obviously, because you wouldn't be laughing at such serious situation. And it's so sick that I'm not trying to pick that a white dude that came virtually from nowhere went into Uganda, saw this issue, and now is taking up for a cause that your family ran away from. So they didn't stick it out. They bolted and ran. Just want to bring that up. So, now there's a couple of things that we need to be educated about and educated on, okay? This is for everybody, again, who said, oh, this video is just fake, this is bull job. What planet do y'all live on? Y'all just real fakery, and I mean, quoting my girl Lovely T, it's just real fuckery. I love Lady T. That's my girl. I just bring up because she has great comments. I enjoyed her commentary that she did on this. So, I mean, what I'm saying is that I followed her advice and took the time to educate myself. And the main thing I did was I took the time to pay attention to the video. I want to make this clear. In the very beginning of the video, it says, nothing is more important than an idea whose time has come. Okay, now everybody was paying attention to that little thing that was floating on the screen. You forgot when the man said, you please pay attention so that the miracle will come. He said, if you're not paying attention, the miracle's not going to come. And obviously, a lot of y'all really didn't pay attention because a lot of the excuses that a lot of y'all made, talking about, oh, this was made, they trying to make it like this stuff happened like yesterday and all this other crap. In the video, it tells you the man, his friend Jacob, he made friends with his Jacob, and he made his son be friends with his man too. I mean, come on. It happened. She tells you that it happened 10 years ago. So he's not telling you that it happened yesterday. It's been going on for years. What he's telling us is that we didn't know about it. That's the whole part of the Kony movement. Is that it's something that we didn't know about, and he's bringing our eyes to it. It's about education. Knowledge is power. You lost your cool points when you talked about, oh, he's just fakery. He's trying to make like this stuff happened in the recent years. Well, for the kids that went through it, his whole point is that the kids that went through the tragedy, it is like yesterday for them. That's what he's trying to say. See, you missed out all because you're just trying to get your little YouTube time in and trying to figure out ways to dispute and contradict him when you should be just paying attention and listening. Excuse me. Now, and it was so cool that he got his child involved because when he explained, don't you understand that when he was explaining to his kids, he was explaining it to all of us. In other words, we're like kids that didn't know any better because it was the same way for him. It was a type of 3D expression that you just totally didn't grab on because you were just so whatever. But I just thought that was clever and I liked it. So a couple of things that in the video that I didn't agree with was that he is supporting the Ugandan army. That a lot of the funds, a lot of the funds that he's collected, not from his own organization, but an organization that the youth and the people of this country created called TRI. So he's not, and you know, and also there's some of you that talked about, I'm not sending him a dime. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You know what? Y'all worse than black women. And yeah, I said it because you know why? It's just I'm a little upset because y'all just took the time to look at this video and you didn't take the time to absorb this video. You didn't take the time to pay attention to the nuances of the video. He explains everything so clearly. He explained that Kony is no longer in Uganda, or sorry, in the in northern Uganda. He's in the southern district of southern plains of the Congo. He explained that part of it. A lot of things that you use as excuses to get rid of the video in your mind and try to turn people off from it, he explained in the video. That's what called me. And I'm like laughing. I'm like, man, y'all are dumb. Because I heard every excuse like, oh, we need to concentrate to the things that happen in our own backyard. And we need to concentrate on things that happen now. We don't need to happen to things abroad. Well, I hate to tell you that us going into the Congo, us going into Uganda, and us going into that country was an act of Congress. Hence, the website that I'm posting on the YouTube right now on the video, which is the actual bill. And I want to state something from the bill itself. This is why everybody should write something down. This is from the bill itself, and this is from Section 6. What is it? Section 6A, subsection 3 of the Assistance for Recovery and Reconstruction of Northern Uganda, to strengthen the operational capacity of civilian police in northern Uganda, to enhance public safety, prevent crime, and deal sensitively with gender-based violence, while strengthening accountability measures to prevent corruption and abuses. That's very important because now we're focusing on the sex trade in this country, and if you don't know it, Uganda is where a lot of these kids that supposedly was under the LRA and because of the women in Uganda, the young women were sold as sex slaves, and now in Atlanta, Georgia, where I live at, and they are showing up here, and so now they disbanded the Red Dog. A lot of you don't know who that is. That's a special drug task force that deals with drugs, and of course it has a very in-your-face policy. That was disbanded so that the idea can now be transferred to the sex trafficking ring. So in other words, this has become a big issue in the country. America's Most Wanted actually came back after years and years of being off the air to focus on the sex trafficking because of this proposition and this bill that was passed under the Obama administration in 2010. So what is going on here is that there's a lot of things happening that nobody knew about. And again, I want to state that this man, and I want to clap, his name is Jason Russell. He is letting you know stuff that you had no clue what was going on. And just because you didn't have a clue didn't mean that he was lying or that he tried to make that happen yesterday, because it didn't happen yesterday. For you, it's happening yesterday because you didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. And I got educated. So, but you all talking about don't give your money. And furthermore, he asked more for money. He says if you don't, in the video it talks about that if you don't have money, write your congressman. He gives a list of 20 people on his website that you can go to that you can write to tell our Congress and to tell our government that we want to keep assistance if that's what you want, to track down Joseph Kony. So I call it Kony Krazy. We're going Kony Krazy because knowledge is power. If we know who this man is, if we know how famous this man, he calls it famous, but we should really call it infamous. If we should know how this infamous man and his face is plastered everywhere, then we know who we're looking for. So education leads to power. So that education also leads to unification. Something that, Lord, I just want to say, there was a lot of black, especially this black chick. I still want to say this black chick is supposedly from Uganda. Something that her and her parents don't know about if they're laughing and they're from their own country and laughing about it. I just found that funny. So, I mean, maybe I got off on a tangent. Maybe I ran it a little bit, but it was just crazy to me. Because at first I kind of had the same ideas like a lot of you, like, don't believe everything you hear. And you're right. Don't believe everything you hear. But when someone is coming to you with the truth, telling you that this was a plan devised some 3 or 4 years ago, that this is supposed to happen in an election year, which he clearly states in the video, that this is supposed to happen this year, that's where the whole spread and the whole movement moves so damn fast. I mean, he's telling you the truth right off the rip. So look at the video again, and remember, pay attention to what he's saying, because the first thing he said is that the miracle happens when you pay attention. And there was a lot more that I wanted to get to, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to get to now a poem that I've actually written. Because I like writing poems. And it's called Attention Must Be Paid. This is to all you people who claim that you had logic and knowledge and saw the video and educated yourself and came up with every excuse. This to all of you, because obviously we need some more money be made for attention to be paid. Not talking to those with lessons to learn, but speaking to people with bridges to burn. I saw the same thing, and it was clear to me that you missed the miracles others did see. I saw a powerful statement about a promise that was made. Obviously, you could not afford attention that was needed to be paid. I saw the video. I saw people whine about false propaganda, absolute, and lies. And a few people diverted the issue, the same thing done that made these kids invisible. And also people said this cause is a fraud, and we should clean up the mess in our own backyard. All those logical people sounding so fake, talk about cleaning up and don't have a broom or a rake. So we will try this again in a simpler form, so the simple people can be informed. Different excuse, believe on YouTube, but something tells me you have a screw that's loose. It is clear the video shows one person is every and brought something to the light that was truly buried. Nothing was hidden, no need to be mean. If your eyes are open, everything was clearly seen. The kids, it's about the kids and fulfilling a purpose. It is what it is. White, black, yellow, or blue, don't matter your color when there's something to do. This is a powerful statement in a timeless philosophy. Knowledge is power with a divine remedy. The more you know, the more you grow. And obviously, always remember, you reap what you sow. So for all the people that think the cause is fake, why don't you listen for God's sakes? Whether you know it or not, it began with a man. Whether you like it or not, it succeeded his plan. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's called Attention Must Be Paid. Well, I said what I had to say.